All right, ladies and gentlemen, last lesson, solve for the missing triangle part. Okay, so now look, we're going to be given a congruent statement, and we're supposed to use a congruent statement to solve for the missing part. Okay, so notice here we have triangle PQR is congruent to triangle STU. Now remember, that means P is congruent to S, Q is congruent to T, and R is congruent to U. Okay, and then we have the pictures here. So notice here, here's P. P is going to be congruent to S, so let's find S. Oh, there it is. Okay, so notice here, if angle P is 50 degrees, then angle S is, well, it's also going to be 50 degrees. That's it. Why? Because this congruent statement tells us that angle P is congruent to angle S. Okay? The order in which it appears, that's the order in which they are congruent. Notice here, another congruent statement, triangle ABC is congruent to triangle PQR. So that means A is congruent to P, B is congruent to Q, and C is congruent to R. Okay, so what do we have here? We have B. B, they tell us, is 5x plus 2. So we have 5x plus 2. And then we're supposed to find it, we're supposed to solve for x here. Notice, B is 5x plus 2. So what's the other one that is congruent to? B is congruent to Q. So we're going to set this equal to 32 like that. Okay, so B is equal to Q. This is B, and that's Q right there. Okay. So B equals Q. Notice here, B equals Q. So B is 5x plus 2, Q is 32, and I just solve. Simple two-step equation, subtract 2. And then we have 5x equals 30, and then divide by 5. And we get x equals, what's 30 divided by 5? That's 6. So that means x equals 6. So notice here, 5 times 6 is 30, 30 plus 2 is 32. So it works, okay? That's all you're doing. You're using the congruent statements to help you solve for the missing part. Okay? Again, another congruent statement here. Notice we have solve for x, solve for y, solve for z. So let's do these in order. So x is over here. Notice here, it's a side, FE. So notice the FE are the first two letters of this congruent statement here. FE of this triangle. So FE is from here to here. So let's see here. Let's look over here. AB would be the sides that it's congruent to on the other triangle. So notice FE and AB. So what's AB? Oh, AB is right here, 16. So here's what I'm going to do. I'm going to write an equation here. I'm going to say 16 equals 3x minus 5. Okay? And so just like in the last problem, we're going to go ahead and add 5 to both sides. Okay? And so we get 16 plus 5 is 21 equals 3x. Okay, then divided by 3. And then we get x equals 21 divided by 3 is 7. So that means x equals 7 here, okay? All right, next one, solve for y. Well, where's y? Oh, y is on this side here, on the side y plus 13. That's on the side of ED. Now notice ED are the second two letters, okay? So ED would be congruent to BC. So what's BC over here? Oh, it's 21. So let's write this as an equation. Y plus 13 equals 21. Again, y plus 13 is ED, and then 21 is BC. Okay, so that's what y plus 13 and 21 represent. And now, let's go ahead and subtract 13 on both sides. Feel free to use a calculator. 21 minus 13, that's going to be, let's borrow here. So that's going to be a 1 there. And 11 minus 3 is going to be 8. So that's my answer, 8. Okay. All right, last one here. So we have, notice here, we have 70 and z. Okay, so last one here, so now it says solve for z. So let's look for the z right here. There it is, right there at the D. And so notice here, D is this letter here, the last one in the congruent statement. And so that's going to be congruent to the last one here, C. So simply just look what C is. C is 70. So we can say 70 equals z. All right, guys, last problem here. And so let's go ahead and look at this. Solve for x, y, and z. And so x, notice, is right here, 3x plus 20. That's a. Okay, well, what's a equal to? A is going to be equal to e. So let's look at e in the other picture. There it is, 62 degrees. So let's go ahead and write an equation setting these equal to each other. So 3x plus 20 equals 62. Okay, again, a is congruent to e. So there's a, there's e. Set them equal to each other, okay? Solve, subtract 20. So we get 3x equals 62 minus 20. That's going to be 42. Okay? And then divide by 3. So use a calculator if you want to divide. I could just go ahead and divide it like this. 3 goes into 4 once, so that's going to be 3. Subtract. Then we get 14. So 14 is my answer, okay? Now, solve for y here. Now, y, where's y? Oh, it's right here. A, B. This side here. So A, B are the first 2 letters, so that's going to be congruent to the first 2 letters here, E, F. So A, B is 3y minus 7. And then what's E, F? E, F is right here. This side here, it's 29. So I'm going to set that equal to 29. Okay? So add 7 to both sides. So we get 3y equals 29 plus 7. That's going to be 36. Divided by 3. Y equals 12. Okay? All right, last one here. Notice here z, it says solve for z. So z is fg. So I'm going to write 8z plus 2 equals, now what's fg congruent to? Well, fg are the last 2 letters here. So the last 2 letters here are bc. What's bc? Oh, that's 18. So set it equal to 18 and then solve. So let's go ahead and add subtract 2. That's going to be 8z equals 18. 18 minus 2 is 16 divided by 8. We get z equals 2. And that's it. Okay? So, tomorrow's a test. You get to use these notes on the test. So, if you have any questions, let me know.